What is the best way for a beginner to start adding speed sessions into their training program? So, there is truth to the expression to run fast, you need to run slow. But in running and triathlon training, if you really want to start to get faster, you're going to have to at some point start adding speed work into your training routine. Now, the next logical questions are: what is speed work? How do I start incorporating speed work into my training? And how often should I incorporate speed work into my training? So, to start, what is speed work? Most people define speed work as any training that is faster than your typical steady state or zone 2 running speed. But I don't really like this definition because most beginners don't exactly know what their steady state or zone 2 running speed is, and oftentimes that's because they're not fit enough or don't have the experience to have spent sufficient time at their aerobic base level. Instead, I like to define speed work in a more trackable way for whether or not you're a beginner or a more experienced runner. And that is any workout that pushes your heart rate into a zone 4 or zone 5 range, or an effort that places you at between a 80% and 100% rate of perceived exertion. So if you wear any kind of heart rate tracker, either of these two metrics are readily available for you to, one, dig into at the end of each training session, or see as you're running out on the field, wherever you're running, on the road. Using these definitions, you'll start to understand when you're entering a speed workout and when this is just a standard zone 2 base building workout. This comes with experience, and you'll definitely get there over time if you have any confusion about this. Now that we know what speed work is, we can talk about how to start incorporating it into your training routine. As I'm sure you already know, speed work can be incredibly taxing on the body, and if you're not careful, can lead to serious injuries. So, for any beginner, I always recommend to err on the side of caution. If you feel any strains or any fatigue in your body, definitely do not do the speed workout for that day. And less is always better as you're starting to gradually add this into your training. So don't feel any pressure to just go 100% into this. This recommendation that I'm going to teach you right now is everything that you need to do for speed work to build a solid foundation in your anaerobic zone. To start, you'll want to have a fairly consistent running schedule or routine and feel fairly comfortable with whatever running workouts you're doing in a week. If you're feeling incredibly taxed just from your maybe 30-minute run, maybe it's not time to start adding speed work into your training. You want to be a fairly comfortable beginner runner before you start adding any of this in. You'll begin by adding 5 minutes at the end of each of your training sessions to dedicate to this speed work. So after you finish your run, stop, give yourself a second to shake out your muscles, relax, catch your breath a little bit, and then when you're ready, you'll do 4 100-meter striders at approximately 80% or 90% rate of perceived exertion. By doing this at the end of your workout, you'll be tapping into your anaerobic system while putting enough power through your muscles to simulate a full range of motion stride. In between each 100-meter set, you'll take approximately 30 to 40 seconds to rest and then proceed into your next set. There's really no rush here. Go at your own pace, but 30 to 40 seconds rest is sufficient to let your heart rate dip just a little bit while keeping your body engaged for the next set. Now, this might not sound like much, but as you'll notice if you wear a heart rate monitor, this will peak out your heart rate, and at the end of your workout, you'll notice in your breakdown, if you wear a Garmin, that you will be impacting your anaerobic zone. Now, this is exactly what we want. We don't want to do a max anaerobic effort. We just want to start peaking into that zone. So, how often should you do this? Since it's such a low volume of anaerobic activity, I would recommend that you do this at the end of each running session. But I'll stress once more that if you feel any kind of strain or pulls or fatigue in your legs, definitely err on the side of caution and skip the striders for that day. You could definitely do your zone 2 effort or your low effort run, but do not do the speed work on that day. And that's exactly how a beginner should start incorporating speed work into their training plan. As you continue to progress, you'll see that there's an infinite number of ways to incorporate more types of speed work into your training. But again, do not feel pressure to do this. By doing exactly what I'm saying here, you'll be maintaining a sufficient base in your anaerobic zone to continue to improve and get stronger as a runner. But that's all for now. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next video.